For ages, the galaxy's oldest races had passed down a warning: never challenge humanity. The words were ancient, spoken by the elders after wars so terrible that even the stars seemed to remember. But time made younger species arrogant. They believed the stories were only myths. The Dravkai Dominion was one of those proud empires. Their fleets were large, their weapons advanced, and their pride unmatched. When they looked at Earth on the galactic map, they laughed. One small world? How dangerous can it be? Said Commander Vial, standing before a massive hologram of the Sol system. The Council of Elders tried to stop them. They warned again and again, humans are not like others. They do not surrender. They only adapt, but no one listened. The galaxy had grown comfortable. Humanity had been silent for too long. So the Dravkai attacked first. Their ships entered human territory, destroying outposts and colonies along the edge of space. For 3 days they celebrated their victory. They thought the war was already over. Then everything changed. On the 4th day, a single transmission arrived on every Dravkai screen: calm, human, and cold. You have crossed into Terran space. Prepare yourselves. Moments later, their long-range scanners picked up movement, massive objects emerging from hyperspace. The stars shifted, and the darkness filled with shapes the size of cities. The Dravkai officers stood frozen as they realized the truth. The elders had not lied. Humanity had not been weak. It had only been waiting. Across the galaxy, the Dravkai fleet waited, proud and confident. They believed the humans would hide or surrender, but far away, deep within the Sol system, Earth had already changed. The message, prepare yourselves, was not just a warning. It was a signal. In the cold silence of space, hidden stations powered up after decades of sleep. Giant machines came alive as blue lights ran across their surfaces. Massive ships, ancient, forgotten, awoke from orbiting graveyards. They were human warships built for wars that no one remembered. Commanders across human colonies received the same transmission. Protocol Iron Dawn, active. No speeches, no fear, no hesitation. Humanity had fought extinction before. They knew what to do. Inside the Terran Defense Command, Admiral Reyes stood before the fleet's holographic display. Thousands of red dots marked enemy movements. They think we're weak, he said quietly. Let's remind them why the elders warned them. Soon the skies around Earth filled with warships, black, angular, alive with light. The Titan-class carriers deployed smaller destroyers and drone fleets. Mars stations launched missiles into orbit. The moon's hidden bases opened their armored doors. Across the stars, the Dravkai scanners began to flicker. Their systems glitched. Their ships shook. Something massive was entering hyperspace. Then, one by one, their sensors cleared, and they saw them. Thousands of Terran warships emerging like ghosts from the dark. The silence was heavy. Even Vial, the arrogant commander, felt his hands tremble. The humans had answered. The first Terran fleet moved like a storm through space. Silent, precise, and unstoppable. No threats, no warnings, only cold execution. The humans didn't waste words. They sent actions instead. Admiral Reyes stood aboard the command ship Horizon Spear, its hull glowing faintly under the light of distant stars. Around him, screens showed enemy positions collapsing into chaos. Engage at will, he ordered calmly. The first strike began. From the void, swarms of kinetic missiles streaked across the darkness, invisible until impact. Dravkai defense grids barely reacted before entire cruisers exploded into burning fragments. Their shield systems failed one by one, as if the humans knew exactly where to hit. The alien officers shouted orders, their panic echoing through comms. They shouldn't be this fast. They shouldn't even know our codes. But the truth was worse. Humans had already hacked their systems days before the battle started. In less than 10 minutes, the proud Dravkai fleet lost a quarter of its strength. The sky above their colony world turned red with debris. From the flagship, Commander Vale watched helplessly as his ships vanished from sensors. His second officer whispered, "We underestimated them." Vale's voice broke. "No, we mocked the Elder's truth." Then another message appeared, short, chilling, and marked with the Terran seal. "You drew first blood. We end wars." Moments later, hundreds of Terran railguns fired at once. The light of their fire turned night into day. Across the galaxy, news spread faster than light. The humans had retaliated, swiftly, mercilessly, and with terrifying precision. The age of fear had returned. The destruction of the Dravkai fleet echoed across the galaxy like thunder. Every empire, every colony, and every council felt the tremor. Entire systems fell silent as the first holovid spread. Images of burning warships, shattered moons, and the Terran flag shining through the smoke. In the great council hall of the core worlds, chaos erupted. Leaders shouted over one another, disbelief turning into fear. How did humanity rise so fast? One cried. Another whispered. The elders were right all along. On Earth, humanity remained calm. They had not celebrated nor boasted. For them, this was not revenge, it was defense. The world worked together with quiet unity. Engineers built faster than ever. Factories glowed through the night. And scientists unlocked weapons that had been sealed since the old wars. Admiral Reyes watched the galaxy's response unfold from his bridge. He knew what was coming, diplomats, threats, and desperate alliances. They will talk peace, he murmured, but they're only buying time to prepare. Meanwhile, deep in space, human reconnaissance drones recorded the impossible. Alien fleets massing not to attack each other, but together, the galaxy's great powers, rivals for centuries, had decided on one thing. Humanity must be stopped. Back on Earth, the news reached Reyes. He didn't flinch. Instead, he looked at the stars and gave a simple order. Activate Project Atlas. Far beneath the planet's crust, gigantic engines roared to life. Mountains shook, oceans trembled, and something vast began to rise from the darkness. The galaxy had declared war on humanity, but humanity had already prepared for this day. Beneath the surface of Earth hidden for centuries, Project Atlas finally awakened. The ground split open as massive hangar doors, each the size of a city, slid apart. Inside rested the titans of humanity's defense. Colossal ships forged before the Galactic Age even began. Their black hulls gleamed under rising flames, marked only with one symbol, the blue crest of Earth. Engineers ran across glowing catwalks, voices echoing through metallic corridors. Reactor stable. Magnetic cores online, one shouted. In orbit, space stations synced their power grids. Across Mars and Luna, thousands of drone carriers powered up, linking directly to the Atlas fleet's command network. At the heart of it all stood the Atlas Prime, a ship so massive it blocked the horizon when it rose. Its engines lit up the clouds, turning the sky into golden fire. Every city on Earth felt the vibration of its launch. Humanity looked up, silent but proud. From the command bridge, Admiral Reyes watched through reinforced glass. For years they called us primitive, he said quietly. Now they will see what humanity built in the dark. The Atlas fleet emerged from the atmosphere in perfect formation. Satellites captured the moment, 100 warships, each a moving fortress. Across the galaxy, alien observers panicked. Their networks filled with warnings. The humans are mobilizing something enormous, Atlas Protocol confirmed. Their planet itself is a weapon. In that moment, the stars seemed to grow colder. Every empire knew what came next. Humanity wasn't just defending anymore. It was taking command. The Atlas fleet spread across the stars like a living wall of light. Each ship moved with perfect coordination, silent but full of power. Alien sensors struggled to track them. Every empire, once confident, once arrogant, now realized the truth. Humanity was no longer the hunted. It was the storm. When the united alien armada entered Terran space, they came with millions of ships. The sight filled the void with metal and fire. But when the first Atlas cannons fired, the battle was already lost. Massive plasma beams crossed the darkness, tearing entire fleets apart in seconds. Every shot was precise, every move calculated. Admiral Reyes watched from his command deck. His face was calm, but his eyes carried the weight of history. "This is not conquest," he said softly. "This is remembrance. They forgot who we are." Across the galaxy, alien communications filled with panic. Entire sectors went dark. Planetary defenses fell before they could even fire. No matter how many ships the enemy sent, the humans advanced without fear. In the Council of Elders, silence replaced pride. One elder finally spoke, his voice trembling. The warnings were not enough. The humans are not unstoppable because of power, but because they never quit. As the last enemy fleet broke apart, the stars burned brighter. The war was over. Humanity stood alone among the ruins, not as conquerors but as survivors. From the bridge of the Atlas Prime, Reyes looked toward the endless sky. "Let them remember," he whispered. "Humanity doesn't start wars. We finish them." And somewhere across the cold galaxy, the echoes of fear began once again, carried by those who finally believed the Elder's words. The age of arrogance had ended. The age of humanity had begun.